Coming up next, after pounding Florida and the southeast coast, what's left of Tropical Storm Nicole is now pushing through Pennsylvania. Find out how long it'll last.
Plus, the latest on Pennsylvania election results and the changes coming after this week's voting.
Will be the next U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania.
And meet the students who traveled from Europe to State College to get a close-up look at the U.S. elections. The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon, Center County. I'm Joseph Callahan, Jr.
And I'm Madison Miller. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, heavy rain from the remnants of Tropical Storm Nicole is moving through Pennsylvania this afternoon. It's also leading to the threat of some storm streams and street flooding. Let's check in with student meteorologist Caroline Castora in the newsroom with the latest information. Caroline?
Hurricane Nicole made landfall in the early hours of yesterday morning, and we are now feeling the effects. These are remnants from the hurricane now, just a low pressure system shifting up through the eastern seaboard and bringing with it a lot of rain. If you walked outside, you might have noticed it is pouring, and it's going to be that case for the rest of the day. If you zoom out, Nicole is actually very expansive. It is stretching all the way down towards Georgia, and it's just a lot of moisture, and it's going to be continuing circulating through as we move through the day, and it's just going to continue to rain. But good news is it's going to stop by the time game time rolls around tomorrow, so tailgate fields might be a little muddy, but at least it won't be pouring during the game. So how much rain are we going to receive? Models were saying we were going to receive anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. I think we're going to get a little bit less here in State College. You can see we're more going to get a little bit over an inch, but out towards Bradford, you can see they're going to inch towards 4 inches of rain just from this system alone. I'll have more on that coming up later.
Thanks, Caroline. The rain also means parking changes for tomorrow's Penn State football game. The overnight RV lot is closed from this afternoon through tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Fans arriving in RVs today can stay at Grange Fair Park. Grass lots around Beaver Stadium will be open for tomorrow's game, but fans can park at Innovation Park and catch a shuttle if they're worried about the grass lots. You do need a game day parking pass to use the Innovation parking lots. Before hitting Pennsylvania, Tropical Storm Nicole caused serious trouble in Florida. It caused at least 2 deaths and a lot of flooding, even collapsing some homes into the ocean. This was the first November hurricane to make landfall in Florida in 37 years. The storm affected some of the same areas hit by Hurricane Ian just a few weeks ago.
Turning to the election now, our local races are wrapped up, but control of Congress is still up in the air today. Let's take a look at the statewide and Center County results. In the U.S. Senate race, John Fetterman is the projected winner against Dr. Mehmet Oz. With almost all votes in, Fetterman leads with 51% to Oz's 47%. Fetterman's win is key for the Democrats, as control of the Senate may be decided by just 1 seat. And here's a look at how the other third-party candidates did in the Pennsylvania Senate election. Only Eric Gerhardt gained more than 1% of the vote. In the U.S. congressional race in District 15, longtime incumbent Glenn Thompson is the projected winner. District 15 covers Center County and much of north-central PA, including State College, Lock Haven, and west of Du Bois. And here's the numbers from this race. Thompson, a Republican, has 70% of the vote to 30% for Democrat Michael Milezevich. Thompson is from Bellefonte and was first elected to Congress in 2008. In the governor's race, Democrat Josh Shapiro is the projected winner. He'll replace outgoing Governor Tom Wolf, and Austin Davis is the projected lieutenant governor winner. With almost all votes counted, Shapiro, a Democrat, has 56% of the vote. His opponent is Republican Doug Mastriano. He has 42%. Shapiro is the current state attorney general. And here's a look at the other candidates in the governor's race. None of them gained more than 1% of the vote.
Now to the state races. In District 77, Democrat Scott Conklin is a projected winner. This district covers part of western Center County, including State College, Pine Groves Mill, and Port Matilda. Scott Conklin is an incumbent as he has 62% of the votes. Conklin was first elected in 2006. Republican challenger Stephen Yetsko has 38%. Next up is State House District 82, and Paul Takak is the projected winner. This district covers State College and Boalsburg and north to Snowshoe. Takak is a Democrat, and he took on Republican Justin Behrens. Taycat has 56% of the votes and Barron's has 44%. And here's a look at State House District 171, where Carrie Benninghoff is the projected winner. This district covers part of eastern Center County, including Bellefonte and Center Hall, and south into Mifflin County, including Lewistown. Republican incumbent Carrie Benninghoff ran away with this one. He has 72% of the vote. His challenger is Democrat Robert Ziegler, and he has 28% of the vote.
Change is coming to Pennsylvania after this election. The state will now have a new governor and a new senator. Reporter Malia Brown has more on that story.
Democrats won both statewide contests in Tuesday's important midterm elections. Josh Shapiro will be the new governor, and after the results came in, he promised to fight for the people of Pennsylvania.
And I want to be a governor that stands up and fights for you, that creates opportunities for you, that deals with climate change and makes sure you can live your best life right here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Shapiro beat conservative Republican Mastriano. The other big Democratic win has national implications. After a hotly contested race, Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman beat Dr. Mehmet Oz to flip the current Republican-held Pennsylvania U.S. Senate seat.
I'll be the next U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania.
Locally, election officials say this election had the highest voter turnout in any non-presidential election in at least 25 years. A handful of crucial races remain nationally in the fight for control of Congress, but Democrats posted enough successes across the country to stop a predicted Republican red wave. With some races still too close to call, both parties' hopes to win the narrow majority in both chambers is down to the wire. The White House is preparing for a possible divided Congress for the next 2 years. But final tallies from races in Georgia, Arizona, Wisconsin, and Nevada could take weeks to be determined. In State College, I'm Malia Brown reporting for the Center County Report.
Tuesday's election results are unofficial until they're certified. Today, county officials begin their official election canvass. Counties submit their results next Tuesday and will clarify the final results by November 28th.
Ever wondering what it's like to watch another country's political system at work? Well, a university group from Europe had a chance to do that in person during Pennsylvania's midterm elections. Serena DeVanzo has more on their experience.
The midterm elections are not only watched closely around the nation, but also around the world. Over 3,000 miles away in Scotland, 2 college students and their professor decided to travel to Pennsylvania to see it for themselves.
Obviously, we've only seen this from our phones, seen it from other media outlets, just from social media. So it's good to actually come out here and see it for ourselves. It's quite surreal in a sense, I would say.
The students from the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow arrived in State College last week.
It's really interesting because you guys elect everything, like police chief, like the sheriff, all that kind of thing, like it all gets elected, whereas back home it's like a job that someone gets employed to do by...
Yeah, we just elect one.
Yeah, we don't really elect.
Yeah, we don't elect like a whole group of people like you guys do.
Yeah.
Cameron Hillhouse and Georgia Burns are digital journalism master students who traveled here to report on the elections.
Interesting, like people are much more, I feel like people are more vocal here.
Yeah, you can see that completely.
And more passionate about their views and stuff, I think, which is, it's good because I think people are more involved in what's going on, and but I think as well, like, it's interesting. I feel like we hear a lot about US politics back home, and like even more so than we do about our own, which is interesting.
During their trip, they visited President Biden's hometown of Scranton. They also went to Chambersburg, where Doug Mastriano's district is located, before ending their journey here at Penn State.
The students are now back home in Scotland, but they won't forget their memorable U.S. election trip.
And I think, from being out here, I've really just enjoyed the whole experience of going out and like being in the field and interviewing people and like actually getting to understand US politics more. Because I think before I came, it was a bit daunting because of how different it actually is. But I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I would love to come back when, as I said, the 2024 presidential elections, I'd love to come back and just see the feel of how it's going to be.
In University Park, I'm Serena DeVanzo for the Center County Report.
The students' election story is being published in the Scottish newspaper, The National, on Sunday.
Here's the most unusual election story you'll hear this week. A Pennsylvania state representative was re-elected this week. The problem is, he's dead. Incumbent Tony DeLuca beat out Zara Livingston, receiving 86% of the vote. The Democrat represented PA's 32nd district near Pittsburgh for 39 years, but he died of cancer last month. State law says once the first ballot is printed, substitutes cannot be submitted, so there will now be a special election to fill his seat.
Still to come on the Center County Report, more on this rainy weather and what's coming after the storm moves out.
Plus, police want public help after a serious assault in State College. Also coming up, could a time change save the lives of more deer and better protect your car? We'll have more on the new study after the break.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Stream the best of PBS on any device with the PBS Video app. All your favorite drama, history, science, news, and documentaries, all in one place. Watch your PBS station live or catch up on the shows you missed. Discover new favorites from PBS and locally produced shows from your station. Get the PBS Video app now and stream the best of PBS anytime, anywhere.
We care about things that affect the lives of every American.
We are there at the front line
to get to the heart of what really matters in every issue.
This country has not seen this in 80 years.
This extraordinary moment in American history.
You're making such a huge impact.
Trust is at the heart of what we do.
Police are asking for public help to ID suspects in a late-night assault in State College. They released this surveillance image and said they're looking for these three men. They believe the group was involved in a verbal argument with another man early Sunday on East Calder Way, then punched and kicked him, causing serious head injuries. The victim is hospitalized but in stable condition.
Penn State new enrollment numbers are out. University-wide enrollment is at just over 88,000. That's down slightly, just under 1% from last year. But University Park has seen a nearly 3% increase in the same time frame. Commonwealth campuses saw a drop of 3% and World Campus declined by 9%. There was a 5% increase in underrepresented groups. Penn State had a visit last night from Hollywood actress turned author Jennette McCurdy for an event on campus. Most people know McCurdy from her role as Sam on the kids show iCarly. McCurdy talked about her memoir titled I'm Glad My Mom Died, which held the #1 place on the New York Times bestseller list for 8 weeks. It detailed her struggles as a child actor with addiction and an eating disorder and a rough relationship with her mother. Students had a chance to ask her for advice on handling the stresses of young adulthood.
There's been a lot of debate about daylight saving time and whether to make it year-round. Now there's another argument in favor of that. A new study said drivers would hit 37,000 less deer if the U.S. had daylight saving time year-round. The study in journal Current Biology says keeping the same time all year would cut the amount of rush hour driving that happens in the dark. Deer are most active around dawn and dusk. There are about 2 million crashes in the U.S. every year involving deer.
The rain is here to stay in Happy Valley. You can see actually the entire state of Pennsylvania is dealing with remnants of Hurricane Nicole, like I mentioned earlier, and it's going to continue cycling through as we move through the day, giving us some pretty hefty rain totals here across Pennsylvania. This storm stretches all the way down towards Georgia, and it just is a lot of moisture. After impacting Florida yesterday, it is just going to continue to rain. Good news is it should clear out by tomorrow. I'll get more on that in a second. So right now, though, it's a beautiful day, or sorry, it's not a beautiful day. It's nice temperatures. It's 57 degrees, but the rain is just really gross outside. Across the state, we're all sitting above average temperature-wise for this time of year, but it is not going to stay that way as we move into the coming weeks because it is November after all. So temperature-wise, it's nice out in Philadelphia. They're sitting at 68 degrees, and out towards Erie, they're at 56 currently. And then here's the low temperatures I was talking about. As soon as the rain moves out tomorrow, it is just going to plummet. So 53 is the high for tomorrow, but the temperatures are going to reach that and then just drop and never recover. The high for Sunday is 40 degrees, and Monday, it just struggles to reach a threshold above the mid-40s. And our average high for this time of year is 49 degrees. So prepare yourself because it is going to be cold. So here's the rain for the rest of the day. It's going to cycle through, and it's going to be heavy at times like you've been experiencing. There will be some pauses, but then again, it just comes right back. So this is tonight at 7 o'clock. You can see the heavy rain cycling through, and then it continues pushing out. And then this is Saturday morning. You can see that rain starts to clear out. Some cloud cover moves in and then clears out again for game day. But there might be some lake effect precipitation as we move through tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to be anything as notable as what we experienced today. And then Futurecast, this is Monday. We remain dry, but there is some wintry precipitation possibly in the future for us. It is November. Like I said, this is Thursday, so keep an eye out on that as we move through the week. So your forecast for today, high of 66. It's a soaker. Temperature-wise, it's great, but the rain is gross. And then moving into tonight, the rain will stick around and it'll drop down to 53 degrees. Before tomorrow, the high again is also 53 degrees, and temperatures will just crash after the rain moves out. So be prepared for your game day forecast right here. These are the temperatures I was talking about. So 53 by tailgate time, but then by the time kickoff rolls around, 49 degrees, windy, and then it just continues to cool off. So be sure to layer up for the game if you're out there to support Penn State against Maryland. And then your 7-day forecast, like I mentioned prior, the low temperatures as we move into next week. So it starts out nice temperature-wise, but then it continues to plummet, and it's going to be feeling more and more like November. But for today, I hope you guys packed your umbrella for your walk home.
Well, as long as I don't need an umbrella for game day, I'm happy. Joe?
Yeah, hopefully we don't have another Northwestern incident, but we have way more sports other than Penn State football, including potential confetti showers. Logan, tell us what you got.
Well, Joe, there may already be a storm rolling in, but Penn State will look to weather the storm tomorrow. We preview their matchup against the Maryland Terrapins. Plus, a shocker as the Nittany Lion men's hockey team played at #1 Minnesota last night. And the high school football playoffs continue. We have highlights from last night's State College Altoona District 6 playoff game up next.
My skin, think it's time I find my place here.
Fasten your seatbelt.
You're taking my breath away.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Amazing.
Well, what are you waiting for?
You belong here. This is your home.
What is your sense now of the humanitarian situation?
This is making me emotional.
This experience I'm going to carry with me the rest of my life.
I'll always be so grateful for everything you did for me.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
I'm Logan Barandis with sports. Let's start out some high school football playoff games that are moved up to last night because of the heavy rain in the area today. That includes the State College Altoona District 6 championship game played at Bald Eagle.
8, 9, 10, 11!
State College kept the good times rolling on Thursday with a 28-7 win over Altoona to remain undefeated and become District 6 champions. The Little Lions didn't pull away until late in the second quarter, where they scored 21 unanswered points. While it probably wasn't as smooth as State College wanted it to be, it was still enough for the Little Lions to be crowned District 6 champions. On the backs of Deontay Sheffy, the Little Lions were able to come away with their first playoff victory. After putting up 19 touchdowns in the regular season, Sheffy found the end zone 3 times in his first career playoff game. The reward for such a performance? His very own championship medal.
We just turned up and...
Sorry.
Oh,
gotta get that.
Yes, sir. So we turned up and way better execution than any of our in-season games.
Despite the game being played at a neutral site in Bald Eagle, Sheffy heard the noise from the State College fan base. While some in the stands may have been surprised with his performance, his head coach Matt Lintel certainly wasn't.
I'm not surprised. Just proud of the kid. He does a great job. Obviously, it starts up front with the guys up there clearing the path and the guys on the edge just helping him out. So he runs hard. You get him in space, and he can make big things happen. So super proud of him.
Now, Lintel and the Lions play a game they're all too familiar with, the waiting game. They play the winner of tomorrow's matchup between McDowell and Taylor Alderdice, giving State College the chance to check off another box.
I think it's kind of a deep breath to have this game under your belt and be able to kind of move forward. The District 6 champions again, and I'm just proud of these guys for the effort, the heart, and it's paying off. You know, we've been able to kind of check some boxes off along the way. Undefeated season, Mid-Penn champions, now District 6 champions.
You can see more highlights and catch up on all the games on our high school football show After the Whistle. That's tonight at 6 on our YouTube channel. Now to the college ranks. Penn State football looks to make it 2 wins in a row as the Lions welcome the Maryland Terrapins to Beaver Stadium tomorrow. The Nittany Lions are coming off a dominant 45-14 win over the Indiana Hoosiers last week. The running back duo of Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton combined for 159 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. That came despite a revolving door on the offensive line, which was a similar problem for the Nittany Lions last time they welcomed Maryland at home. In 2020, when Penn State took on Maryland here at Beaver Stadium, it was a 35-19 shellacking of the Nittany Lions. Quarterback Sean Clifford was sacked 7 times in that contest. Now, just 2 years later, there's more eyes now than ever, both on Clifford and the 5 men up front to protect him. Landon Tangwall was ruled out for the season, while projected first-round pick Olu Fashanu is week-to-week with an injury. That means more playing time for lesser experienced players in the line in the heat of conference play. According to James Franklin, it's been a challenge, but his team has lived up to the task.
It's a real positive. I mean, obviously I think that the challenge for everybody, especially in today's day and age of college football, is depth across the board, and at positions like O-line, where sometimes it takes a little bit longer to develop those guys because it's a man's game, when you're that close to the ball.
With mixing guys in and out at key positions, that creates a different challenge for the leaders of the group. For redshirt senior Juice Scruggs, communication goes a long way.
With the young guys coming in, you got to be more vocal than you normally would. But really, I try to be vocal anyways, over-communicate. That's a big thing we talk about. And just having everybody on the same page, no matter who's in.
Tomorrow's game kicks off at 3:30 p.m., and you can listen live on Penn State Com Radio with our broadcast team at Beaver Stadium. Year 2 of the Micah Shrewsbury era at Penn State is off to a hot start. Penn State men's basketball continued its winning ways last night against Loyola Maryland. The Nittany Lions put together an impressive offensive night to beat the Greyhounds 90-65. Penn State has shined from beyond the arc to start the season, shooting 50% from deep. The next time they hit the court is Monday night against Butler. Now to the ice. The Penn State men's hockey team wraps up its road series with Minnesota tonight. Last night's game went about as well as it possibly could have with a 4-2 win over the top-ranked Golden Gophers. Connor McEachern led the way with 2 goals and an assist in the win. It was the Nittany Lions' second win over the nation's #1 team in 1 week. Staying on the topic of top-ranked teams, Penn State Wrestling is ready to start their new season tonight. And once again, the Lions are defending national champions. Penn State hasn't hosted a home duel since last February, but tonight they take on Lock Haven and Rec Hall. The team returns 4 national champion wrestlers this season. Tonight is the only home match they have until December 11th. Penn State women's soccer, now 9-time Big Ten tournament champions, begins the hunt for a national title this weekend. The Nittany Lions have not played at home since mid-October, but after the Big Ten tournament win over Michigan State, they host Quinnipiac for Game 1 of the NCAA tournament on Sunday. It's the first time these teams will have played each other in program history. You can listen to that game live on Penn State Com Radio. That's all for sports. Now back to you at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Logan. Coming up next, we take a look at how the Penn State football team honor veterans this week. That's after the break.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Stream the best of PBS on any device with the PBS Video app. All your favorite drama, history, science, news, and documentaries, all in one place. Watch your PBS station live or catch up on the shows you missed. Support your PBS station and you can get Passport, giving you full seasons, early releases, special collections, and more. Get the PBS Video app now and stream the best of PBS anytime, anywhere.
We care about things that affect the lives of every American.
We are there at the front line
to get to the heart of what really matters in every issue.
This country has not seen this in 80 years.
This extraordinary moment in American history.
You're making such a huge impact.
Trust is at the heart of what we do.
Today is Veterans Day, a time for us to pay our respects to those who have served our country. Penn State's football is joining in too, as the team invited veterans and ROTC cadets to attend practice this week. That's in advance to tomorrow's military appreciation game at Beaver Stadium. The vets and cadets at Wednesday's practice had a chance to meet the coaches and players. Also, Penn State's annual ceremony honoring veterans is happening right now at the Hub on the University Park campus.
On this special day, we would like to thank all veterans for their service. That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us next Tuesday for our next local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for breaking news and watch our stories on our Center County Report social media. You'll find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a great afternoon.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth.
it always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.